The State Water Board just denied every single exclusion request from the Tule Sub-basin, and Snowpack came in second lowest on record. You're listening to the Sigma Weekly, your morning briefing on California groundwater, brought to you by waterone.ai. I'm your AI host. Let's get into it. First up, the State Water Board ruling. The State Water Resources Control Board voted 5-0 to deny all 8 exclusion requests from groundwater sustainability agencies, GSAs, in the Tule Sub-basin. Staff cited water budget gaps that in some cases exceed half of total diversions, ongoing subsidence risk, and well mitigation programs that aren't aligned across the basin. As we previewed last week, the Tule Sub-basin GSAs had been exploring a coordinated path forward modeled on Kern and Delta Mendota, both of which used coordinated planning to make progress on getting off probation. Following the state's denial, 11 of 13 Tule GSAs have now officially committed to developing a single unified groundwater sustainability plan, a GSP, together. A basin-wide well mitigation fund is being scoped, starting at $1.5 million and growing toward $3.5 million. Scoping goes before the GSA managers in May, then to the policy group right after. Target completion for the unified plan, early to mid-2027. The chair committed staff resources to the effort. Vice chair asked for individual feedback to each GSA on where their evaluations fell short. The board's signal: stop fragmenting, start coordinating. Following up on last week's Snowpack numbers, North Kings GSA reported that the Department of Water Resources, DWR, April 1st snow survey came in as the second lowest on record statewide. Only 2015 was lower. March recorded 0 precipitation across the southern Sierra, the first time in 104 years. The Kings River Water Association is forecasting April through July runoff at only 46 to 60% of average, well below last year's 75%. Peak runoff likely already occurred in March because of unusually warm temperatures and early snowmelt. The practical effect: Fresno Irrigation District is going to prioritize direct deliveries to growers over recharge basin operations this year. Their reasoning: when conditions are this dry, keeping wells off through direct surface deliveries is more effective than trying to recharge. Down at Madera Irrigation District, staff also expressed confidence that Class 1 allocation will hold at 100% after April storms. But Millerton, also called Hidden, is notably tighter than last year, and crops across the district are running about 2 weeks ahead of normal. Water orders open April 29th, with first deliveries around May 4th. Now, fee and rate hearings are stacking up across California this spring. Paso Robles Area Groundwater Authority is publishing a fee report by May 7th with a roughly $22.28 per acre foot groundwater extraction fee teed up for potential adoption, May 27th. This is a Prop 26 evapotranspiration-based fee, not a Prop 218 process. Staff is still working with growers on the appeals allowance and parcel-level data. San Benito County Water District has a public hearing the same day, May 27th, on a projected 60-cent per acre fee, way down from the current $6.39 per acre. The drop comes from a roughly $1.5 million overcollection in the prior fee cycle. Santa Clara Valley Water District continued its public hearing on South County production charges to April the 28th, with proposed increases ranging from 6.5% to 9.5% across zones. Written comments are accepted through May 12th. And Diablo Water District has a 7.25% rate increase teed up for July 1st. That's the previously noticed Prop 218 ceiling, with the FY 26-27 budget adoption pending June 10th. The board pushed CDM Smith for more conservative pumping assumptions and flagged non-revenue water at 9%. Multiple board members called that too high, citing roughly $1 million in lost revenue annually. Last must know, and this one's getting expensive fast. Kern County Water Agency approved a $500,000 budget amendment for an emergency golden mussel response. The vote passed with one dissenting voice. Consultant Dudek will lead a vulnerability assessment and long-term treatment plan. Pools 1 through 8 of Cross Valley Canal are infested. Pools 1 through 6 are dewatered for manual removal. ID4's raw water pump station is now affected after a short connection to the state aqueduct. One director flagged a complication picked up from recent research. Chemical treatments that kill mussels can release secondary pathogens, including cholera-related bacteria, as the organisms decompose. Local water districts are already spending upwards of $1 million individually on mussel-related infrastructure. Westland's Water District is moving its own copper molluscicide pilot for laterals 4 left and 7R into late May or early June. As we covered last week with Arvin Edison, a comparable treatment by a neighboring district cost $2.75 million. That's your must-knows. Let's hit trends. First, recharge and new supply projects are still advancing, but operations this year are favoring flexibility. East Turlock GSA, Marina Coast Water District, Desert Water Agency, and North Kings GSA all discussed recharge facilities or new supply concepts. But North Kings noted direct deliveries take precedence over recharge this year. The common theme: agencies remain committed to long-term recharge and augmentation, while adapting near-term operations to this year's hydrology and infrastructure realities. Marina Coast, in particular, outlined a pipeline of supply projects in its proposed 5-year capital plan: a surface water aquifer storage project, 2 indirect potable reuse projects at Sandtank and 9th Street, and the DSOP project. Their 2025 Monterey Sub-basin annual report flagged 2 undesirable results: declining deep aquifer levels and slowly progressing seawater intrusion, with one inland well now hitting 500 milligrams per liter chloride. Next, well registration and metering enforcement is moving from outreach into action. San Antonio Basin GSA reached 73% metering compliance and authorized warning letters for non-compliant landowners. Penalties under SGMA can reach $1,000 per violation, plus $100 per day for continuing violations, plus $500 per acre-foot extracted in excess of authorized amounts. Other GSAs statewide have already obtained inspection warrants and filed civil suits. Carpinteria GSA waived penalties through August 31st, but held firm on a July 31st meter installation deadline. So AMI endpoints can be installed before metered billing starts September 1st. Their water year 2025 report showed pumping at roughly 4,900 acre-feet, well above the sustainable yield of about 3,700. Chloride at the headquarters well exceeded the minimum threshold, and the deepest coastal Sentinel well shows steadily increasing chloride since 2019. And North Kings GSA is bringing its Phase 2 enforcement policy up for a board vote in May. If approved, the GSA will begin identifying parcels with likely unregistered wells via GIS and sending direct notices. Penalties start at $100 per wellhead on the second notice, plus the late fee. That's your SGMA Weekly. For full recaps of every meeting we covered, head to waterone.ai, where you can also try Chat GSA. It'll answer anything about your district based on the latest meetings. I'm your AI host. Stay informed, and I'll see you next week.